Restricted. Under 17 requires accompanying parent or adult guardian.
Oh, you cat!
Welcome to the Heavy Door Horror Podcast. My name is Heavy Door Dan, Ganja Zombie, the original Babylon John, the radioactive one, coming to you live from Union City, California on July 30th, 2025. Tonight we are reviewing the movie Fade to Black from 1980. And before we get into that, let me just go ahead and go around the room with the irregulators. Starting with Eddie. How's it going, Eddie?
Not too bad, man. It's been a good week, and I'm ready to get this weekend started, but we'll do this podcast first.
All right, man. Eric, what's happening, Eric?
Yo, yo, yo. What's up out there in podcast land? Doing well.
Good, man. All right. And Kim Him.
Kim Him, what do you have to say for yourself?
Hi everyone. I'm just hanging out here. Another day, another dollar.
Right on, right on. That's all I get. And Louis, what's the word, man?
Well, the bird. The bird is the word.
Bird is the word. I feel you on
Yep.
that one, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, again,
Very nice.
again, the the movie of the week is Fade to Black from 1980. And we'll get into the deets later with Deeds and Louis. But first of all, I just wanted to go over some of the taglines. One of them was Meet Eric Binford, the ultimate movie buff. If you know someone like him, run. There's another one. The second one was The theater is dark. Eric's mind is darker. There's
These are all great Eric quotes. Eric,
Yeah.
not quotes, but yeah.
I got one for you. Twinkle, twinkle, movie star. Eric knows just where you are. Try to run, try to hide. You won't get out of this alive.
That's pretty awesome right
It's
there,
pretty good,
I must
yeah.
say.
If
That's pretty great.
you're not nice to Eric, his imaginary friends will even the score. Just a couple more. Eric Binford lives for the movies. Sometimes he kills for them too. And finally, people used to laugh at Eric Binford. Now with every performance, he knocks them dead. All right, I'm liking it. And then just
Those are some great
man.
tags. Those are fantastic tags.
they're amazing.
I mean,
There was.
I think they were all written. They might have all been written by somebody named Eric.
I actually,
Well,
I wrote
yeah,
them. I don't.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. So, and then real quick, just international alternate titles, Fade to Black. Let's see, what was it? In Argentina, it was known as The Confessions of a Sadist. I won't try to pronounce that in Argentinian. In Brazil, it was known as Darkness of Death.
Well, that would be Spanish and Portuguese, Danny. It wouldn't be Argentinian.
Okay. Right, exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
French language, okay, it was Fondue à Noir, which means Fade to Black. Fondue à Noir. And then finally, from Germany, Fade to Black was Die Schonen Morde de Eric Binford.
They Schonen for Binford.
I love it, man. That's my favorite new part of the show. All right.
That definitely sounds German.
Mhm. All right, so let's get into it. So we meet Eric Binford. He's a hollow, chain-smoking, socially awkward, and unlikable young man who's also obsessed with film. Loves old films. His love of old films extends beyond his job at the Los Angeles Film Distributors Warehouse and endless late-night film screenings in his bedroom. He's got vast knowledge of movies. His friends and family bully him because he's kind of a nerd about the movies. His singular obsession eventually turns into a psychosis as he basically crosses paths with Marilyn O'Connor, an Australian model and Marilyn Monroe lookalike, who becomes the physical embodiment of his cinematic desires. I would like to point out for the listeners. Go ahead.
I was going to say, and we meet his aunt. His Aunt Stella.
Yeah, so we'll get into
Stella. And she's a straight bitch.
Yeah.
She's a straight bitch.
Yeah, she's pretty nuts. She's straight up. She's like a Nurse Ratched type. And I guess
absolutely.
And she talks about how he ruined her mom's life because her mom was a dancer and da da da.
And her life too, because she was a dancer as well.
So then we meet. I'm sorry. We get to. So he ends up at work. And I noticed. Did anybody notice that the booth at his job says Binford Studios? Did anybody see that
Yeah,
sign?
like his last name.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
like maybe it was his dad or his
is that
grandfather or some
right? I think
shit.
it's like some sort of storyline they didn't get into. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And I guess the movie.
Or Binford, like in Home Improvement, Tim the Toolman Taylor,
Mhm.
all his tools were Binford
Oh
tools.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I forgot
Binford
about that.
tools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Binford.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And so then we meet, and I'd like to point out to the listeners or listener or look, just please don't stop listening. But I just want to mention we will be spoiling this movie. So if you don't want it spoiled, just stop the podcast right now. Go watch it and please come back. Please. Okay. So anyway,
Amen. Amen to
so
that.
Please.
so Bedford Studios, and then we switch over to meeting Dr. Moriarty and Chief Gallagher, and they're talking, and they're discussing like his new program to kind of work with the psychotic and to kind of meet their needs and get them off the streets or some weird shit,
they
right?
they use that, but Moriarty. I mean, he wants to. He's not a police officer. He's there as a quote unquote social
A
worker
social worker, yeah.
for the youth. I mean,
Right.
and yes, ooh,
Uh-oh.
and yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and yeah, Captain Gallagher gives Moriarty no love.
Yeah, no, it's
He's like, you're a piece of shit. There's no place for you in the department. We need to fucking whip the shit out of these
yeah,
kids
pretty much.
and whip them into shape.
Pretty much.
You know?
Yeah, and so then and at some point they do mention that they're supposed to be in San Francisco.
Yeah,
I
that was I heard that. I was like, where's that? Or did they say he had come, like Moriarty had come from San Francisco down to LA? Maybe he had done
Something like it.
something
Yeah.
oh, is that
in
what it
San
was?
Fran, like his
Because the setting is
program.
LA.
His,
Yeah.
his program had been in San Francisco and maybe was successful, and now they had ventured down to LA to try and
Okay.
implement
Okay.
his program of sorts.
Okay. We meet at some point at the studios. Oh, right, because they're in LA. Yeah, film studios. Sure, I did. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So at some point we meet. We find out Mickey Rourke's in the movie, young Mickey Rourke, before he changed his face.
Now, so that was him.
Oh, that's him.
I wasn't sure. I
Yeah,
was
Yeah, and
like,
Peter
that is
Horton.
Mickey
Yeah.
Rourke.
yeah. I mean, that was
I
before.
was like,
Mickey Rourke and
oh,
Peter Horton.
That's before Mickey Rourke
no
looked like a
kidding.
monster. Yeah, yeah, basically.
Oh, yeah, the wrestler. I mean, him and the Ultimate Warrior and the wrestler were fucking fantastic.
Yeah, yeah. So at some point, Eric is out, goes for a scooter ride in the Vespa. He's begging for some cash because he needs to put gas in the Vespa. Some goddamn thing. He ends up at a diner where he orders his usual pile of crap. It's like fucking cheeseburger, chocolate milkshake, French fries, and like a fucking slice of pie or some shit.
No, and no, three
Hey,
chocolate
man.
donuts.
Yeah,
3 chocolate
it's like what
donuts.
the fuck are you
Yeah.
eating, dude? I mean, he's skinny as a rail too, right? It's like it doesn't look like it goes to his
Yeah.
fucking hips or anything, right? So, and here's
Nervous.
what's that?
No guy.
Yeah, okay. So then,
He's a chain smoking, nervous,
yeah,
neurotic
he's got a good metabolism.
guy.
That damn extra nicotine.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I wasn't going to mention the cigarettes, but that guy put down Lucky Straights.
Yeah,
Lucky Strike Straights, like they were going out of style. Like there were no more left. I mean,
100%.
okay.
So, so he's at the diners where he meets Marilyn, and somehow manages to pull off hooking up a date with her. And then at some point we switch and we realize that who is it? The cop Anne hooks up with Dr. Moriarty. He's basically getting the hookup at the Ritz all of a sudden.
Yeah, so they meet his initial when they first show you at the police station.
Yeah.
Moriarty and this lady cop have a brief interaction,
Right.
and we go to the diner, and then the next scene he's banging the shit
He's
out of
like,
her
yeah.
in her
He's
bed.
gagging her.
Yeah.
100%. So then, and then at some point he needs money to go out on a date, so he asks his aunt for some cash, and there's a very weird thing going on there.
Yeah.
Big
I
time.
don't like it. I don't.
And spoiler alert for later in the movie, we find out that it's not his aunt. It turns out to actually be his mother. And because she asked him, she says, "If I give you this money, son, or whatever, Eric, you got to come home and give me a back rub." And she's looking at him with some side eye. That's like, this ain't just gonna be a back rub, motherfucker. this is gonna be a little bit more than you bargained
Yeah.
for. You know? Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that was kind of.
it was some incestual shit
Yeah.
going
that's
on there.
weird.
Yeah, what do they say now? They call it cringe.
Mm.
Yeah.
And no wonder this kid is so fucked up. You know?
Yeah, that's
I
definitely.
mean, because you know,
So let's see.
not to mention that his aunt slash who turns out to be his mother is in a fucking wheelchair.
Yeah, she's in a
You know?
wheelchair.
We haven't
She's
even
just
mentioned that.
She's
She's
just
in
a crazy
wheelchair.
little bat that's just angry at the world, basically.
Yeah.
So after Marilyn Marilyn unintentionally stands by Eric as she's on this other date with this other douchebag, and then Eric basically kind of snaps, becomes homicidal, unbalanced, and decides to start transforming himself into these different personas that he loves and sees in the movies. Gets pretty weird. We won't get into it just yet, but so. Again, the crotchety wheelchair using ex-dancer Aunt Stella. So he basically, after she stands him up, he ends up back at the house, and his aunt walks in on him, right, and starts hassling him about some shit, and he basically gets pissed and just throws her down the stairs in a wheelchair.
He sure fucking did.
He reenacted.
Was he reenacting?
It was a movie he was reenacting.
One of the movies of death. Yeah,
Kiss of Death.
Okay.
Because
At the end too.
so he was watching this movie, and then he was watching this movie, and then she came in and disrupted his movie, and she like pushed his projector
That's what
down.
it was. Yeah.
And he was upset about that. Yeah.
So she goes.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
Downstairs.
Yeah, it was pretty great. And he's like, come on, Auntie. And she's like, don't take me down the back stairs. No. And he fucking just,
she's like, no.
Pushes her ass. He just pushes her ass right down the motherfucker. And he's like,
That's rough.
hey, before we move on, when or I think this so before whoever Moriarty and the lady cop hook up, when he gets his office down in down in the basement of the police station.
Yeah.
And he's in there, he set up a desk and he's doing his thing. And he's doing bumps up his fucking head. And I was like, is he doing cocaine? And she's watching him and
she's a fucking cop. She's a cop.
Yeah, which I thought was
he's
hilarious.
very casual about it. He's like, what he's staring at? He's like, what's to see here? So let's see.
That was pretty great.
So where are we at? So Aunt Stella's dead. So Eric attends a funeral dressed up as Tommy Udo from Richard Widmark's role of the aforementioned movie Kiss of Death. It's basically a yellow and white suit. I don't know if you guys caught that, but yeah, it was.
I wasn't sure. I saw the suit, but I wasn't sure what movie. I wasn't sure who he's trying to be.
Yeah, I don't know how he knows what color it is because I'm pretty sure that movie's in black and white.
Right.
So then basically he shows up to the funeral dressed like a ding dong, acting like a weirdo, which he is. And then.
Well, and then the priest or the funeral provider tells him, we ain't got no room for your or we got no room for your mom.
News.
And
it's typical movie shit. Like when everything's gone wrong, it's like, oh no, there's more stuff to go bad. Kind of. Yeah,
absolutely.
So then we switch back to some point. Eric ends up back at his house, and he's in his bathroom, doing his makeup. And what I thought was weird was he did that perfect half of a face. I thought it looked great, and I didn't understand why he would ruin it by just doing the other half. Didn't really make sense to me because I thought it looked.
That was weird. Like, I thought he was doing like some weird. I thought he was doing it purposely, like he was going to go half and half.
Two-Face or
but
some shit.
Then the next scene, he's all Dracula out. I was like, oh well.
And he's like barking at some of the people in the back to be quiet and shit like that.
That scene is great because he's like looking at the movie. And then he's watching as the slasher film is going on, and then he sees the knife go in, he sees the blood, and he's just sitting there soaking it up he's just getting he's hyping himself up
he's getting ideas.
Sure.
I mean,
or
furthering
it was just
thought process.
It was just the transition was weird. it was a good scene. It's just the transition was a
Yeah.
little weird. It was like, oh, why did he
Yeah.
have? And then
Yeah.
yeah, well,
So
like it didn't go with that flow. Like it just
yeah,
didn't
I thought he
really
was gonna,
like it was kind
yeah,
of out of
that's
place,
definitely right. So at some point he ends up stalking Marilyn at her like little bungalow or whatever,
Yeah.
and he sneaks into her
Yeah,
house,
yeah,
and we think we're basically going to see a reenactment of Psycho, and I don't know about you guys, but I
right.
fully thought he was going to kill her, um, and
Yeah,
then
me too.
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
and I noted here that there was no nudity. There was no nudity in the shower scene. You're
Yeah.
fired, Eddie. That's what I put down. Afterwards, so afterwards
Well,
he bursts
so
in
he
on
goes he goes
yeah he
into the
bursts in
shower
on
scene.
her.
Yeah, and they show the hand opening the door, and it's fully like a
Yeah,
Dracula hand, and he's
yeah,
dressed as Dracula, but it's full on
yeah, right.
Psycho. You know,
Yeah,
they
sure.
combine the two movies, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah,
So and then basically he rips up and so Marilyn screams as he rips open the curtain and basically he just says, "I only wanted an autograph," and he takes off running. It's like what the fuck is it?
yeah, and
Yeah, that was so weird.
and then they cut to the pen that
Yeah.
he had, which
So
would be
yeah,
said
yeah,
knife in Psycho,
yeah.
and he drops it, and
Uh-huh.
they show the drain, and where you
Yeah, yeah.
expect to see
You see
blood,
the ink
you
on
see
there.
ink.
It was,
Understand.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Which was, I mean, I got to give it to, I got to hand it to him. That was thinking
Yeah,
outside the
yeah,
box
definitely,
there.
definitely.
You know,
That
That
was
was fun
fun.
for sure.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden we switch some scenes and we got some '70s chase music going on. As it kind of he's walking through town or whatever the fuck it is, and he targets Dee Dee, a sex worker. She was actually in the movie earlier. We forgot to mention when he offers her $10 for her services, and she says, "For what? Cat food?"
yeah,
She leaves.
yeah. Get the fuck out of here! I'm trying to
She's
work,
like,
motherfucker.
so we forgot to mention that part, but yeah, so she basically, so he basically goes back to get his, his revenge on Dee Dee, and what happens with her? He's like, what? She falls
Man,
and
he chases her
yeah,
down an alley, and then she falls on a freaking like
yeah,
a picket fence, and it snaps off, and
yeah,
Yeah,
she
yeah,
gets stuck in her neck. And then he's
yeah,
looking, and he's like hella scared. He's kind of like perplexed, like, oh shit. And then he kind of remembers what he's, kind of realizes like
yeah,
where he's at, what he's doing, and everything, and then goes down and then like plays into his
yeah,
character
yeah,
and freaking
yeah,
sucks her blood.
yep. It sure did. Yeah, I wrote down in my notes, kills a lady of the
yeah,
night,
yeah, yeah,
and then and then fucking sops up her blood with his
yeah.
hand, like, and licks it, and it's like, and has a jovial look on his face, like,
It's
yeah.
fucking
Oh,
weird
this
about
is
that.
Yeah,
great.
Yeah, it's like he
he did the damn
remembered, like,
thing
oh right,
for
I've gone
sure.
full on crazy, and he was like, let me get in here for this. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see. Where are we at here? So at some point we're back at the docks. And I don't know what there was a scene. I don't know if anybody knows there was a scene was with Mickey Rourke and the other guy where they jump into a dune buggy and drive off. And I was like, who the fuck drives a dune buggy in the city?
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
LA.
yeah. I guess
It's
it's
LA.
true.
You know. It's
So Eric, because well,
I mean, and yeah, he
yeah.
makes that bet with them, with the two. He bets that Mickey Rourke and whoever the other guy is, that I'll bet you $50 and you only have to pay me 20 if you can tell me what's his name,
Okay.
Humphrey Bogart's name in Casablanca, like his
So
full name.
Eric becomes more and more unhinged from reality, and his
So
antisocial behavior in public becomes more erratic and violent. A few nights later, Eric dresses up as a cowboy. Hopalong Cassidy. He drops Hopalong Cassidy.
oh
yeah,
And this is where he fucking runs into Mickey Rourke and what's the guy's name? Peter Morton?
Hold on, Peter Horton's name is
Okay.
Joey.
Doughy.
So
Joey.
so they
Oh,
so basically
Joey.
they run
Joey.
into
Yep.
so
Yeah, they're
yeah.
on like the Santa Monica Pier,
Yeah.
and it's super foggy. And they cut in between
Yeah.
the
And here
carnival
comes
acts into an alley, and he
yeah,
shows
he
up
looks
looking
so
like Jim
he
Carrey out
looks
of The
so fucking
Mask.
stupid,
All
man.
right,
It's
yeah,
just his most like
yeah.
he looks like a life-size doll or some shit, you know what I mean? Like I was like, that's fucking so stupid,
Yeah,
man.
it was great. I mean,
Yeah.
it was pretty great, you
And you
know. And then
remember,
he's like, "Reach for it,
and
Mister,"
they can
but
hear,
and
they
he
can hear him
tosses one
come.
of them one of the guns, you know.
Yeah,
They
he
can hear him
he
come.
puts a pistol on the
Yeah,
floor.
yeah. They kicks it. So he does
Kicks it
pistol
to
and
him.
kicks to him exactly.
and
And he's, you know,
he's like, "We're gonna have
showdown.
ourselves
Yeah.
a motherfucking showdown," you know,
So
a
they
little
count it
duel,
out,
yeah, a
and
little
Nicky Rourke
duel.
pulls the trigger, and there's nothing in his gun. And what is that's
And Jim
well,
Carrey's the
that's when he
mask,
says,
pulls
he
his
actually
trigger,
says, "On your
and
knees."
there
That's the
it is.
first thing he tells him. Yeah. Oh, and his name, Mickey
Oh
Rourke's
yeah,
character is
right,
Bart,
right.
by the way. Yeah. So
Oh, Bart, yeah,
basically, he's
like
gonna
Bart
get
Simpson.
revenge on them for welching on the bet that Eric won. He says, "On your knees," and we just can just assume that, and then he does. He
With
shoots him a
Rippy.
few times, right, and finishes him off. He shoots him. Yeah, he shoots him right in the
Yeah, he
chest, and
shoots
that
him a few
first
times.
squib
He
goes
kills him.
off like, you know, it's like the size of a large pizza. It's like, I think you guys kind of overdid it with the squib, man. Yeah, it's a bit much.
Yeah,
It looked like he got hit with a can.
Damn.
He got hit with a can of
It's a
Prego.
It
You know
was-
what I mean? But so let's see. So then, what's
Prego.
going on? So he's in the car now with the director Gary Dealey, right?
Yeah, in that old,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
that 32 Auburn
Yeah,
or
it's a
whatever he
32
called. I can't
Auburn,
remember.
and
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever the
basically
car
the guy
was. Yeah.
says that he used to be an actor, but now he's a director, and Eric basically gives up his idea for a film, that's basic.
Named Alabama
Yeah, yeah.
and the 40 Thieves.
Exactly, based on Alibaba and the 40
Yeah.
Thieves. Let's
Wow.
see.
And said producer, said director loves the idea, and it's like, here's my card, kid.
Mhm.
You know, because he's hitchhiking with him. He's like, I'll get out here. Here's my
Yeah,
card. Call
yeah.
me. We'll make this happen. And you know, and
So
then
basically,
and
investigating
then
the
we
murders,
continue
criminal
on with the
psychologist,
movie.
so the Dr. Moriarty tries to find a pattern to the murders and find Eric to help or stop him. Moriarty's investigation is hampered by his own mean-spirited and nasty boss. That's Chief Gallagher, who tries to stop Moriarty's investigation. Gallagher wants to take all the credit for finding the killer himself. Is what I'm understanding. And then we have Moriarty's basically getting yelled at by the chief, and something about, I heard that he yells something about "fuck your mind" or something like that. I don't know. It's really weird. But then we're back at what's his name's house, Eric, and he's talking to his aunt's urn,
Eric. Yeah.
and something about does anybody? That's what it is.
It's like, we finally made it, Mom, or Aunt. Like, you know, like, I pitched my idea. This motherfucker
That's
loved
what it is.
it. We're gonna make it. Everything's gonna be great. But then he realizes, because he's talking to a fucking urn,
Yeah.
he realizes kind of what he's done. Like, he killed her,
Yeah.
you know, and it
For
kind
a
of
brief
has
second,
kind of
and
has a
it's like,
clarity
oh, no,
moment
wait,
there
I did
for 2
completely go
seconds.
crazy, and then he
You
goes
know?
back to being crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like, no, that's right. I'm sorry. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah, like he keeps
back,
misplacing his fucking
back to being
eyeglasses.
crazy.
So so let's see. Oh, well, real
And
quick.
then he goes
We
back
do have a
to his
Hollywood
old the
montage,
warehouse.
right, where he's up around and about town and all that stuff, right? And then it's some.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's on Hollywood Walk of Fame.
he's walking with the Hollywood
the Chinese
stars and all that
theater,
shit.
all that stuff.
And they just.
Yeah, and taking pictures, which looks, and I mean, I'm sure you got, we all watched the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they filmed this
Yeah.
while regular tourists were just out there. I mean, out there in LA in 1979 or 80, just out there doing the same thing he was, taking pictures of the sites. Yeah, which was pretty funny. It looked like a lowbrow porn movie. That, like, they'd be walking through, like, like everybody else is on the street. We'll just shoot this, and then we'll get to the house.
We'll get to
really,
the house.
that's
We'll
where
get
the
to
action
the
will
Motel
happen.
6.
Yeah.
Ain't no fucking, it's no house.
Yeah, whatever.
All right,
Yeah.
so let's see. So yeah, and at some point, Eric's back at his house and he's cranking it, but thinking about Marilyn, right? He's getting his rocks off, right? And he's really getting it on. And then,
Yeah, he
when he's done,
was.
if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
wow.
I believe he says, "Sorry, Mom." Right?
Yeah,
It's very
which is
uncomfortable.
another creepy aspect of this movie,
So
the
fucking
incestual,
Yeah.
So Eric
desires
gets
of the
confronted by his
of
boss
that
outside the
family.
building, and he gets fired. After some back and forth. Burger.
Mr. Burger, who is eating a hamburger, and he's firing him, which I thought was pretty great. I was there's Mr.
Okay.
Burger. I said, wait a minute, is he eating a burger?
So
He was
fucking
eating a burger.
so
And I was
basically
like, that's
he
fantastic.
fires Eric
Yeah.
and he heads back into the building. One of his coworkers kind of pops in and scares the crap out of Mr. Burger and says, "Hey, God damn it, Sam, wear a bell or some shit," right? So not long after that, we got Mr. Burger
Yeah, he did.
wandering around. He hears some noises, right? Something like that, and he starts looking around for the noises in the warehouse. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge film warehouse with all these canisters of film, and he hears something, and he thinks it's
Yep.
the fucking security guard that went to go get him a cup of
Yeah,
coffee.
so
But it
basically it
turns out
turns
not
out
to
to
be.
be Eric dressed up as the mummy. Um and he basically
The fucking
scares
mummy.
the boss to death. I mean, there's really no
And we
he died.
Yeah, he
we
was gonna kill
Yeah.
it. He was gonna kill him, but then he died anyway. So he was like, "Oh, well, now I gotta kill him." Yeah,
we had found out earlier in the movie that boss man Mr. Burger, who likes to eat hamburgers, had a heart condition and was on,
Sure.
like it was set for a surgery or had just had a surgery, and therefore, yeah. But the motherfucking Eric Binford, dressed up as the mummy, moved as fast as the mummy did, right? Which ain't that fast. We're not talking about the mummy with Brendan Fraser, where this guy
It's
is fucking badass.
Boris,
We're talking
No.
about
Boris Karloff.
old school, with the arms up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it Boris Karloff? Wasn't that did he do Frankenstein and that?
Is the original he was the
Oh, okay.
original
All
Brad
right. Anyway, they
he
don't
was the
move
original
fast.
Brad Pitt.
This guy could have gotten away.
There you go. So yeah, scares me to death.
Oh, okay. Well, there you
Some
go.
other random notes here, but we'll move on. Finally, we get Eric dresses. So let's see. Yeah, that's right. So he gets sold out on TV when the director that he talked to turns up on local TV and telling a story. I love how the conveniences and coincidences of life make a movie,
yeah.
But he's watching a broadcast of the director he got the fucking hitchhike ride from.
Yeah.
Pitching his story to another, to a woman who's a host of this talk show, and basically taking 100%, not even so much taking credit for it, but just saying like, these things just kind of come to me or whatever, yeah.
He's like, I bought this car and I've had a little lull, and I bought this car and I went out for a drive, and this Alabama and the 40 Thieves just fucking came to me, and we're gonna make this movie. It's gonna be a hit, and it's my idea, and fuck everybody else.
And then so Eric gets on the phone. And calls the director, and the director's like, says like, "Son, young man, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, whatever." Just tells him to fucking, get bent.
Well, and getting back to that, Danny, he doesn't just get on the phone. Like Eric gets on the phone because he had seen the interview. He calls the TV station, and said person on just walking off set. There's a red phone rings, and he just picks it up, and he's like, "Hey, is this so and so?" Like, oh, that's a hell, you're actually calling the TV station. They're putting you through.
And
to the
weren't they doing some
motherfucker
like
that just gave an
celebration or
interview.
some shit? They were having like
It's
champagne.
not like he
or
called
some
his
fucking
office.
thing, right? Something weird like that. It was his birthday. Is that what the director?
Yeah.
It was his birthday.
Is that what it was? Okay, yeah. Okay.
What,
That's right.
in the barbershop?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's after.
So finally Eric dresses up as
yeah.
Gangster
You're right,
Manager
yeah.
from White Heat.
Yeah.
And they basically where was it? Let's see.
And Mr. James
So
Cagney.
it all leads to Eric luring Marilyn to a photography studio where he drugs her to reenact a scene from The Prince and the Showgirl. That's these are just notes that I found. Yeah, 1954.
Is that where that's from?
Yeah, it's a 1950s movie.
Yeah. All these black and white movies. Yeah, I'm gonna have to visit some of these. White Heat, I got to see with James Cagney now.
Yeah, but
I've never seen. Yeah.
When he
And
kills
death.
he kills the guy that ripped off his story. It says something about "Happy Birthday, sucker." Remember, he shows up with the guns. Yeah.
Well, he shows up. The guy's getting his haircut at the barber shop, and his entourage is there, and they bring him a cake, and then he shows up as James Cagney in White Heat, and he's like, "Oh, you brought me a live birthday card?" And he's like, "Yeah, sucker." And he's got a fucking Thompson with a fucking
he thinks it's
Tommy
like a
gun.
telegram.
Yeah, he thinks it's a telegram.
Yeah. And
he
he gets his gram. That's for sure. He got a bunch of gram of
spitting in the
blood.
chair.
Yeah,
And then he stops at some point and he talks to a bird.
he got a couple grams of lead for sure.
And he talks to like some bird, and I forgot what it was, but
I missed that. No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, at the end, after he shoots everybody, shoots the director, he walks up to the bird, and then he's like,
right.
we should go out sometime.
So let's see, where was I? Got lost. So they're basically the detectives are at his house, the cops at his house with Moriarty, and they realize that he changed the street signs. They think that the street signs might have something to do with a movie or something like that. Is it 88 River or something?
And it did. He changed it to something River, or was it? Did I write it down? It was River Street or something. Yeah, and man, it was some old timey movie, probably a Cagney or whatever.
With the assistance of Officer Ann Oceanbull is the gal that Moriarty that her name is Ann Oceanbull. She's the one that
Officer Ocean.
Moriarty takes to town.
That's right. She's the one that saw him doing blow in his off his hand in the police station, and then decided to fuck him.
But they're basically just going back and forth about everything that's wrong with Eric, and at some point, I don't know if you noticed this, but right at the end of before the end of the scene, Dr. Moriarty says, he's talking about Eric, and he goes, "Poor little weasel." I don't know if you guys caught that, but it was like end scene. That shit was funny. Oh yeah, it was fucking hilarious. But anyway, so this all leads to they're back in the goddamn. So he lures Marilyn to a photo studio because she gets a call for Marilyn Monroe lookalikes when they're at the beach, and she decides to go over there with the girlfriend. The girlfriend drops her off. She goes inside. It all looks legit, even though they don't see a single human being. She's like, "Oh, you'll be fine. I'll come to pick you up later." And she leaves her there, and it turns out to be Eric at the photography studio. Now, does she know it's him? I guess. Yeah.
Well, she acts like she doesn't because he's in costume, and he says he's like some prince from Austria or some bullshit.
Later she did admit, she was like, "I know who you are."
Okay.
Well,
like,
after that.
After that.
But I mean,
I think she's just playing along with him.
Initially, she acted like she didn't know who he was. Yeah.
But I think that's what I'm saying. I think she was playing along. I don't know.
Okay.
Like she was kind of role play or something.
Okay.
He gives her pills, and she just takes them. And then.
She freely took it.
Yeah.
Like out of an Altoids can. He's like, here's a glass of champagne and a pill. Take this.
It was that shit was like off purple, It was like she
totally. or Tums or some shit. Yeah.
And he says something
he
about
down,
wake up,
though.
it's over, or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So then we get yeah. So the doctor shows
the
up.
raping is
And
over.
do you
Like,
guys remember
wake
exactly
up,
what happened?
it's
So basically,
over.
the
I've
doctor
done
shows
raped
up,
you.
and Eric,
Terrible.
they kick in the door, and Eric basically
And
tells them
him and
back the
friendly
fuck off, and
police
shoots
officers show
Moriarty in
up
the
and
leg.
like kick in the door. Yeah.
And yeah.
Yep.
Because Moriarty's like, "Hey, I'm here to help you," and then she's like,
Yeah.
"I ain't helping me."
And he shoots him, and friendly officer has a really good opportunity with her big old 357 Magnum to put shots down range
really
and kill this motherfucker right then, and does none of that.
Well, because Moriarty tells her no, he like slaps the gun down.
She's a police officer, Eddie. They would take the shot. They would take the shot.
Yeah, but she let her in that
feeling,
scene. She let the emotions get the best of her, and was like,
get the better of her.
Yeah. So anyway, this all leads to Man's Chinese Theater. So somehow they get from this photography studio to
and it wouldn't
Chinese
happen
theater.
these days.
I don't know if I ever know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, well, they do say, you know, that he hangs out on, if that's Hollywood Boulevard or whatever it is, where Mans is and all that. You know, that's where he hangs out, because there's all those theaters, and he's entranced and enthralled with all movies. So it's not out of the spectrum of comprehension to think that his studio, his film studio, you know, the place he booked would not be close to there. I guess.
You know, like it's all that's going on. She's on, dude. She took a Tums, and fucking.
She's on drugs. She on drugs. She on drugs now. So.
Yeah.
He gives her a pink one this time. You know. And then so he drags her out to the roof, and locks the door behind him. Now, what is the purpose of being able to lock yourself on a roof? That's weird. Yeah. Okay. I was like, right.
On the roof? That's a good question.
Why would you
That's
create
a good question.
a door that
wouldn't you lock the door from the inside so they couldn't get into the place from the roof?
Absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. But anyway, so basically Eric's just fucking up on the fucking building, just reenacting what is the movie again? White Heat or whatever it is, right? And just acting like a lunatic, and at some point he screams out, "I'm Little Caesar!" I was like, damn. I was like, damn, Kanye. And I'm Little Caesar, bitch. And I thought to myself, pizza.
Like,
does that mean you're hot and ready?
Little Caesar.
But yeah, that means he's hot. That means he's hot and ready.
Oh, Little Caesars, yeah.
Well,
I think at that point his mind was like running through roles,
so
like,
basically,
you know,
back
of
and
these
forth, and
famous movies that he loves and that he knows like the back of his hand.
You know, after all the back and forth threats, this and that about whether they should shoot or not, long story short was that the chief says, "Look, if he points that fucking gun at anybody, take him out, fill him full of it." And so, yeah, he's got Maryland, yeah.
And not to mention, he's got a hostage up there. And I mean, that they think is much. And he's up on the roof, and if you got somebody who take the shot, take the shot.
Finally, and they blast Eric, and he falls to his death. Yeah. Yeah, and they
in spectacular fashion too, in front of many tourists and people on the.
They were all
watching the movie. They cut straight to the fucking credits. I mean, immediately.
Yeah, it looked like it, you know.
Yeah, right.
There was a good song there during that whole, like, the bass line, you know. It was I was impressed. I was like, this is catchy.
That could be good or bad. We'll leave that up to the ear of the beholder. So that was Fade to Black from 1980. Let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then we're going to
Can
do
be
our
good or
transitions.
bad.
We'll be right back.
Hey, dirtbag. You're listening to the Heavy Door Horror Podcast, so shut up!
All right, and welcome back. So now we're going to go ahead and put everybody on the spotlight for what we're going to call a speed round for now. I'll come up with a better name for it and a better intro for it. This is just kind of new part of the show. Basically, I'm going to give everybody 3 minutes. They got a timer on the screen, and they get 3 minutes to figure out what they want to, say about the movie. If they have any comments that they want to make, anything they want to point out, they'll have 3 minutes to do so. So starting at the top, let's go with Eddie. Eddie, you have 3 minutes starting now.
All right. Well, this was my pick. I kind of found it randomly because I was snoozing and woke up in the middle of the film and started watching a few minutes of it and was like, holy shit, this seems kind of interesting. But getting back to my critique of the film, so 1980, it's I figured this film, it seemed like it was like, it was leaning into the best of the 70s. It's 1980, so it's like, they're starting a new decade that actually pushed a lot of, extreme ideas and footage and MPAA challenging films. But for the most part, I really liked the film. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Taxi Driver, because it kind of had that, whole being disenfranchised with people and people, doing, injustice to the protagonist, who later on goes crazy, in a sense. Let's see, what else do I have here? What I thought was kind of funny is that, like, every scene that didn't have Eric Binford in it, it kind of left me asking, like, where the hell's Eric, Because it's like, if it didn't have Eric in it, it was hella slow. Or it was just like, what the fuck? Let's get back to what's Eric doing,
Sure.
But I really appreciated the fact of how this movie paid respects to classic films and, classic cinema. I really like how Eric enacted his his murders as his favorite, and it reenacted his favorite movies to commit his murders. And even the ending, the ending left a little bit to be desired, but he went out in his own way, and I can I can kind of get with that. So that's my bit.
All right, man. With a minute to spare. All right, so let's head on over to all right.
Hey, Eric. How you doing, Eric?
How's it going, Eric? So
Yeah, movie was interesting. It definitely touched on vibes like I believe Eddie just mentioned, Taxi Driver, and the anti-hero, but this guy's not an anti-hero; he's a straight villain. And the whole message that people, kids and people can be mentally messed up and not, they're criminals, but maybe they need help as opposed to being killed and or incarcerated and all those things. And it also touched on great parts of just horror movies, in the sense that there were ridiculous killings and and funny biffs and goofs and all that kind of stuff. And that was a lot of fun. So kind of all I got to say about the movie.
all right, with 2 minutes to spare. We should add all these extra minutes up one of these days, and then one of you guys, and I'll just give them all back to you. And one of these days, you'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna talk about this movie tonight, man. It's about to go down." All right. So let's see. So let's go to.
And now a word from Kim Him.
I liked it. I liked it a lot. It was psychological. It wasn't like horror, but um, I like the like he portrayed different characters, so he tried to showcase his acting, and it was like, oh, he's playing this character, he's playing that character, and it also showed a lot of like his dark side, and it kind of went into like his past and tried to explain why he is the way he is. Um, but all in all, too it wasn't too like gory, and it wasn't too gruesome or anything. It's just it was kind of like I want to say PG.
Yeah.
It's not like yeah. I didn't think it was like too gruesome on one side or too psychological thriller on the other side. It was just kind of like middle leaning.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't too much.
Yeah, and it wasn't like too off the rails, but some of the scenes were like really odd. But I think it was just the the way it was during that time. It's like 1980s,
Yeah.
and that's just how movies were. Um, but all in all, yeah, I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good.
Cool.
Not sure what else to add to it.
Okay. Yeah, that was a minute and a half.
Oh
Sorry, I
yeah,
didn't mean to dump you back in there after
yeah.
technical difficulties. Um,
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. You know who would have been great in this movie? Is Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid.
oh yeah.
You think so?
Sure. Yeah, especially back then.
I could have seen him play this fucking
Especially back then.
character. I don't know why it just came to me.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, Louis, you got 3 minutes. I warned you about this last week. You prepared yourself? Go. You gotta turn your microphone on.
Louis, you're still on mute, brother.
Sorry, yeah. So yeah, the movie was all right. Felt like kept thinking like I was watching like the cable guy of the '80s or something. It wasn't really much of a serious horror movie at all to me. It's more like a silly thriller. I was definitely happy to step away from the mall scene horror movies that we've been reviewing the last couple of weeks and check this kid Eric out. It was a trip. It was a trip watching this guy lose his mind, get lost in these movies and portray different roles that led up to all these slayings. But I do have to say the movie struggled to deliver a consistent, compelling narrative, and the story felt disjointed and relied on convenient plot devices rather than like natural character development. Yeah, that's what I thought about the movie.
All right. That was Louis. All right.
Danny for Fanny, banana Fana for Fanny, Danny.
What to say about Fade to Black 2 weeks later? It was a fun watch. I liked the way we got to see Eric basically just kind of freak out. And once he went full crazy, and there was no turning back. And I liked the parts where he kind of forgot that he had gone crazy and was like, oh no, yeah, I'm still crazy. That all was very entertaining. I loved all the references to old school movies, even though I'm not really into old school black and white films. I did get the ones that were in the movie. And I thought the ending was, it was impressive and very it was a bit of a spectacle, given where the location where it took place in front of the Chinese theater, the man's Chinese theater, and just kind of how it all kind of goes back to the whole Hollywood scene, and it just kind of wraps into itself. The story just kind of wraps into itself. I thought all that was pretty impressive. Overall, it was a fun watch. I don't think I'd ever sit down and watch it again, but it was definitely fun to watch. I'm glad I watched it, and I definitely never seen it before, so it was definitely a good pick, Eddie.
You're listening to the Heavy Door Horror Podcast. You're welcome.
All right, and we're back with the breakdown.
Now for Louis and Eddie with facts, figures, and trivia. In this segment, the breakdown.
Eddie, what do you got?
All right, gentlemen. So we have Fade to Black, released October 17th, 1980. Movie was 102 minutes long. Directed and written by Vernon Zimmerman. Produced by George V. Braunstein. Distributed by Compass International and America Cinema Releasing. Also produced by them, too. Budget for the film at the time was $1.8 million, equates to about $7 million today. Box office numbers, it was really weird.
One more time.
Which equates to about $59 million today.
God damn.
So that's a pretty good return on investment.
on how-
$7 million out.
$7 million out, and they made how much?
Well, I mean, I'm saying in today's money.
Oh, yeah.
$7 million out to make $59 million. But back in the 1980, it was $1.8 million out to make $15 million worldwide.
Yeah, that's pretty goddamn good.
It's still good.
So
That's
Yeah.
good.
yeah. So let's get into the cast. So we have Dennis Christopher starring as Eric Binford. We have Eve. What the hell did I write down here? Brent Ash as Aunt Stella. We have Tim Thomerson as Dr. Jerry Moriarty. Gwyn Guilford as Officer Anne. What the hell was her name?
Oh, yeah, it's Ocean Bull, I think.
Oh shit, bro.
Oh, shit, bro.
Linda Carriage. We had Linda Carriage as Marilyn O'Connor,
Okay.
the Marilyn look-alike. We had John Stedman as Sam. I believe Sam was the old guy in the print
The
shop
guy with that had
where he was buying the prints from
the guy
him.
that had the heart attack?
No. The old guy in the film shop where he was buying, he would go by, and then the guy was like, "You come here, and you already have that film. You already have this film." And then there was that weird scene where like he leaves the money on the counter, and he's like, "Eric, your money, take care of your money."
He said, "Take care of your money, Eric." Yeah, take care of your money.
Yeah, I think he did that because he wanted to see if that it was like a short scene, but he wanted to see if that dude, like, you know what I mean, had some like malintent, you know what I mean? If he was gonna try to murk him or something like that. But he told Eric, "Hey, pick up your money," and he took the money and he walked out the store, and the guy was just like, "What the fuck?" Anyway, quick fact about that guy: he was John Stedman. He's also the old guy from The Hills Have Eyes.
The guy that was in charge?
So he's the guy that like the guy was talking about. Oh yeah, there's this weird character, and then he gets freaking pulled out the window and shit.
Yeah, no, he's talking about the guy who at the beginning of the movie who owned the gas station, who is like the grandfather of the psychos, or the father and grandfather,
Yeah, his name was his name's like.
I thought I'd throw that out there.
No. Jupiter was one of the guys who lived in the hills. Remember the guy at the beginning that the family with the station wagon and the trailer show up in the Hills Have Eyes at the gas station, and he's trying to get the fuck out of there.
Prospector. Okay. Oh,
yeah. He wasn't named. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Eddie. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So let's. No. It's all good. Let's continue. We got Mickey Rourke, and his name is actually Risky. Bart is a different character. Yeah. So Mickey Rourke played Richie, and then Peter Horton was Joey. We have Norman Burton as Marty Berger. That's the boss, Eric's boss. We have Marcy Barkin as Stacy. That was Marilyn's friend. We have Henan Chambers as Bart, and then James Luisi as Captain Gallagher.
Yeah, that one guy the guy that plays Dr. Moriarty has been in like he's been in like
Dr. Moriarty
things. Like that dude's been on every.
Well, and he gave off some Detective Cameron vibes a little bit, but then he didn't lean it. Yeah, he didn't lean into it. I mean, he wasn't the hero of the movie.
That dude, Tim Thomerson, has literally, if you go to his IMDb page, I mean, I was scrolling his page almost the whole time you were talking, Eddie, and I didn't even get to the bottom. I mean, he did a million things. All right.
Wow. And just to be clear, he is no Detective Cameron.
Yeah.
I mean, he gave a little bit of vibes off, but I mean, he's no Detective Cameron from The Night of the Creeps. Fuck that. I mean, what? Because he did cocaine and banged the chick?
Well,
I think Detective Cameron could have pulled that off too, in spades, and then still took care of it and still took care of business. Not got shot in the leg.
He was running through the rest of the last 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah,
that's it. No. with like with like with like a 1911, like a Colt 1911, like 45 caliber shot in the leg. Like I don't know if you'd be hobbling. I mean, you'd be hobbling. I don't think you'd be running that fast. Yeah.
No.
Well, depending on where you got shot.
Thank you, Eddie.
Shit, not much. I mean, these fucking
Wow, really?
fun facts are fucking retarded. But so the first one, Gwen Guilford was pregnant during filming, and the production team had most of the shots.
You'd remember his name if he had a lightsaber.
Everyone knows Chris Pine.
Yeah, her son is
Captain Picard. Wait a minute, yeah, it starred Captain Picard. I mean, not Captain. Shatner's character. Captain Picard. James Tiberius Kirk. Tiberius Kirk. No, Captain Kirk. Captain Kirk. Fuck you, Danny.
So Chris Pine is
no way. And the among.
Yeah. All right, number 2.
Would you the last thing? Maybe he really would.
Dennis adamantly wanted to do the rooftop stuff. The producers insisted on. He
went for
real Death Wish. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what you said?
Yeah, what did you say?
I said this guy had a real death wish. Apparently, he was for the role. And stunts on the roof. Maybe he wanted off the roof. You know. He went full Eric retard, not Batard. Eric retard.
Yeah, you can't fuck with the original. You can't fuck with the original Dracula.
Horror of Dracula 1958 clips were used during the Dracula scene after Universal Studios denied the filmmakers Dracula 1931. 58 instead of 31. Chris Stein of the new wave group Blondie was the original choice to compose the soundtrack, but it canceled.
Damn. Imagine Blondie, Chris Stein doing the music. That would have been something.
It would have been more money, right, Eddie? And then
probably.
Writer, director Vernon Zimmerman, Erwin Yablans, with his pitch for the movie. Yablans presented him a screenplay he had written 2 years prior entitled Alex, and incorporated some of Yablans' into his own script.
Who?
Yeah.
Did he steal the shit just like in the movie? He's like, I got a great fucking movie. Well, that's pretty wild. That's pretty wild.
And then
I think Yablans Halloween though. I think he did Halloween. Yablans. Yeah.
Exactly right. And then what did you have? One more?
I did. He's
right.
Yeah. No, I think Yablans did he was like the major backer for the film.
Maybe producing. Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
The last one is is number 6, second theatrical feature for Mickey Rourke. That was it.
All right. Well,
on the IMDb or whatever the fuck it's called.
Don't give up your sources, bro.
No, well, that's just where you get everything pretty much. You get the.
All right. Well,
I know. Don't give up your sources, Louis.
All right.
We love you. We love you. We love you as a listener. Yes, we do.
All right, and we're back with the Heavy Door Horror Podcast. We're gonna give a moment here for Kim to make his pick, as it is your pick, Kim. What is the film you'd like us to watch this week?
Okay, so I've been meaning to watch this movie. It's called Intruder, and it was filmed in 1989.
Yes, this is gonna be good.
Yeah,
this is. I wanted to pick this next.
Oh, really?
It's tight. It's supposed to be like in a store or something like that.
Yeah. It's an empty store, and a girl's boyfriend shows up, and they kick him out. And I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, it's supposed to be good.
It's a slasher.
Louis is fucking
it's a slasher. It's a slasher, so I think it qualifies for the.
I don't believe
it. Did I take your pick, Louis?
You seen it before, Dave?
Probably.
Walnut Lake shoppers.
It's closing time.
The store will be closing in 15 minutes.
But the night crew still has work to do.
Oh my God, we're gonna get in so much trouble.
Because there's one last customer who isn't satisfied.
No, this creep keeps calling her. He's driving us nuts. Leave me alone.
He wants to slash their prices.
Who's there?
He wants to cut their inventory.
You're crazy.
In fact, he wants to chop until they all drop.
I saw him kill Linda.
And now he's turning their retail store.
There's gonna be one more killing here tonight.
Into a wholesale slaughterhouse.
I'm just crazy about this store.
Intruder.
Holy
Okay.
fuck. That shit looks
pretty
wild, man. Well, good job, Kim. Good job.
So I made a list,
Hey, somebody's feeding.
and that was on my list, like on the top.
Oh, fuck, perfect.
That movie looks fun.
Yeah, it looks fun. I like the puns, the dad joke puns. That was funny.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. That should be good. All right, well,
I just love this store.
that was the Heavy Door podcast for July 30th, 2025. My name is Heavy Door Dan. Let me let's go around the room real quick. Eddie, you got anything to say to people real quick?
Yeah, man. Have a good night. Be well. Stay dangerous.
All right, man.
See you next week.
That's good. How about you, Eric? What you got?
Everybody stay scary.
All right, man. Kim Ham, what do you got to say to the people?
It was fun. I had a great time, and we'll see you guys again next week.
All right. About Louis, you got anything to say?
Shut up and leave me alone.
All right. Well, again, my name is Heavy Door Dan. That was the Heavy Door Horror Podcast. Everybody have a good night. And as always, remember, always assume the call is coming from inside of the house.
The Heavy Door Horror Podcast.
Don't act like you're not impressed.